On today's show, we're going to be talking about when things go wrong at Disney. They're going to fall apart at some point, let's be honest. We've got a couple of solutions for you, a couple of scenarios that we've experienced ourselves. So stay tuned, and we're going to help you get some answers about that. And if you're watching live, we would love to hear your suggestions as we go along. What's up, and welcome to Mousers and Magic. I'm James. Hey, y'all is not here yet. She ran to the grocery store to get a couple of things and got held up. But we had to go ahead and get started because we can only start so late once we have a stream scheduled. Otherwise, it'll cancel it. So we don't want to end up dealing with that and have to start like an hour later. That would be really bad. Anyways, welcome to the show, everybody. If you're watching us live, let us know how you're doing today. Just put it down there in the comments for us. And, I'm curious. It's been a rough week for, a lot of people, honestly. It's been kind of a weird week. Work has been tough for me personally. So it happens, but let us know how you're doing below. If you would like to support the show, it's pretty easy. The number one thing you can do is subscribe, like, and share our content. So subscribe on YouTube. For those of you who are listening to the podcast, that's www.youtube.com/Mouse Ears and Magic Podcast. So you can go subscribe over there. Make sure you hit that bell, the notification bell, and select all. That way, every time we go live. Liking our comment, interacting with our content, commenting, whatever. All of that is going to also boost us in the algorithms to help us reach more people. And as well as leaving us a five-star rating on Apple Podcast. So you can hop over to Apple Podcast, even if you don't have an Apple device. A lot of people don't know this. You can go to iTunes on your computer and create a login through there, and then you can still go rate the podcast from there. Jameson just busted in here and said that Mom is here. Okay. Thank you, buddy. And finally, if you would like to help support the show, then go to patreon.com/Mouse Ears and Magic Pod, and you can join one of the monthly was it like a donation type deal. But all of the money that we receive from our listeners goes straight back into the podcast. For example, for those of you who are watching live, you know that we have 3 different camera angles now. All right, we have 2 ring lights. Had to get a new computer not too long ago when the computer crashed on me. We have the Rodecaster Pro. We have the Rode Pod mics. So, we keep constantly trying to build and make things better for you guys that are listening to us. I know last week we had an issue with an echo that came through our StreamYard that we use for our live streaming. So I'm not real sure what's up with that, but excuse me. Wow, Elias just yelped really loud. I have reached out to them trying to figure out what's going on there because I thought it was something I was doing. It turns out that it wasn't because so many other people are having the same issue. So, yeah. Sebastian is joining us. What's up, buddy? Hope you're having a better day today. I know yesterday was a little rough. Been thinking about you, man. Good job. Samantha Lowe, aka the Stream Hopper, is here. Hey, how are you doing? She's always in the parts. Go check out her YouTube channel. For those of you watching, it's exactly what you see there, Samantha Lowe. And that's LOW. All right. So for those of you who are listening, go check her out on YouTube. Mackenzie is here from Maryland. She's saying Roll Tide. That's what I'm talking about. I never thought I would meet so many people through this network that are from the Northeast that are Alabama fans. So that's really crazy. Coach DeFranco is here. How you doing, man? He says the show is great. Definitely give a tune in when you can. Thanks, dude. I really do appreciate it. And Mom says autocorrect got her. I think because she said Phoenix and Charlotte are here. But her name's Cheryl. So I think that's just yeah. I hope that's autocorrect, Mom. Come on. She's sitting out in the driveway, actually, with Phoenix while he's playing outside. Elizabeth is here. Hey, I hope you're doing great. I hear there's supposed to be some snow moving in up north again. I know Chicago's supposed to get some snow on like Tuesday. What's up with that? It's April, like middle of April. And McKenzie says that Alabama just beat Florida in softball. That's always a good thing. Sarah is here. I mean, she's in the house. I don't know what's taking her so long to get in here. She's taking her time. Anyways, but yeah, Alabama's always been pretty solid in softball. We're having a pretty decent year. I was talking to Dwayne, McKenzie's dad, the other day. They're big softball family. McKenzie plays softball, and we were talking about the how ACC tends to dominate in everything. And was looking at the rankings. I think the SEC has roughly, I think five or six teams in the top 25, maybe more than that. But in baseball, it's ridiculous. Baseball, the SEC, 5 of the top 6 are from the SEC. Sarah has showed up with a cold Diet Coke for me.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
So, Derek from Satisfactual Sign, kids and your fancy YouTubes. My response to him every time on that is kid and his fancy printer. If you're watching us, I'm showing our Splash Mountain sign. I really need to figure out a way. Derek, if you have any suggestions.
Hey, show me your pen and paper.
Yeah, I've got some over here. Where I can get a light right here to really highlight that thing. So yeah, I need some assistance on that. Anybody know if you're watching this? So let's see. Sarah just stole my fan. That's messed up.
Dude, I just ran for my life. I'm sweating.
Katie B is here, one of our newest Patreon members. She says, hi, friends. Stop popping in to say hi. She's at dinner with her family. She just messaged me a little while ago while I was getting ready, telling me that. What?
I'm putting the fan.
Stealing my fan. That's messed up. SEC pays their players the best is why. I hear you, Derek. I hear you. Elizabeth says, my niece just got a scholarship to Cumberland University in Tennessee, honey.
Nice. Go for it. Have fun.
Dwayne is here. Derek, he says, get a life or a light. I need a light. I need to figure out a way to light the sign up. I have it displayed great right here on the mic stand. I'm going to have to get Sarah one before too long. We've got to find one the same size.
I'm gonna get it.
No.
I told him to get my notebook and a pen, and he gives me a.
I didn't have time. I didn't have time. All right, honey. Let's kind of get things rolling because we've been going for 8.5 minutes. I'll start as long as I can. This is your show today.
Not necessarily.
You came up with the topic. We tossed around a few topics, right? So, the two of them that we didn't use are going to be future episodes,
right?
So one of them was going to be 10 misconceptions about Walt Disney World. I think that'll be a really fun show, but you've been kind of overwhelmed.
Yeah, I've had to do 2 weeks worth of work, and this last week, and it was my own fault, but
yeah.
Oi.
Yeah. So you've been playing catch up, and so didn't really have time to do the research. Work has whooped my butt this week.
It's been a really long week.
Yes, it has. And then our other one that we were going to do was going to have Mark Valentine from This Is Life podcast. He was going to join us, and we were going to retheme Dino Land. A lot of people have rethemed Dino Land.
I think
I wanted to take it next level.
Yeah, I think you were right to hold off on that one because I feel like Dino Land has been so mistreated. It's like a little misguided child, and it needs some help. It needs a glow up. I've
got a really good idea. I've told you about an idea that I have. Well, I've absolutely scratched that idea, and I have another one. Sebastian and I were talking about it the other night. And
is he in the chat?
He did pop in. He said, good job. I haven't seen him since. But we are going to. I've got an incredible. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing.
Okay.
Everybody's going to love it. Disney might steal our idea. All right. Derek says, "Burn Dino Land down and start anew." That's what our plan is.
I think it's going to be more like a scrap car, scrap for pieces.
Right.
Because I mean, there's no sense in wasting good material, but there's no sense in keeping it as it is.
Yes.
So it needs to be disassembled and.
Yep. Let's see here.
I don't think there's any fixing the dino ride.
No, there's not. All right. Are you ready to get into today's content, honey?
Sure.
All right. Before we do, let's handle a little business first. Are you tired of sitting at home or work? Are you ready to take that dream vacation? It can all be handled at travelingwithlizzie.com. Melissa is there to help you plan your dream vacation, whether that's Disney, Universal, or any other destination. Most of you may be asking, why to book with a Disney travel agent? Why not? Traveling with Lizzie will actually save you money by always price monitoring and applying promotions to your reservation. They are the ones that are staying on hold for hours and hours so that you don't have to. It's a common misconception that using a travel agent costs more. They are completely free to use. That's right, folks. 100% free to you. Disney pays them to take care of your every travel need. And they're also there to deal with any problem that may arise while you're on vacation. So instead of spending your valuable time at the front desk, you could be with your family while Melissa is on the phone dealing with the issue. Are you interested in a free quote? Head over to www.travelingwithlizzie.com and let Melissa help you start planning your vacation today. Again, that's www.travelingwithlizzie.com. And she's gone again. So real quick, while the ad was running, Derek says there's tons of room there in Dino Land. It could be utilized so much better. We 100% agree, and that is what we are hoping to address. Derek said that there's so much land over in Dino Land that could be utilized so much better.
Right.
All right, you ready to do this thing?
Sure.
You want to start with the first one up here? All right. So things go wrong at Disney. It happens. Sarah just pulled a rookie mistake. Did not mute something. What's up with that?
That's been my laptop.
All right. So, do you ever get sick at Walt Disney World?
I think everybody at some point is going to get sick. Whether it's like, a ride made you sick, from running it.
Derek said put a bell on her. She keeps disappearing. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right.
It's my specialty. There's so many different factors to getting sick at Disney. It could be you got too hot, you were in the sun too much, or whatever you ate the night before is not agreeing with you, or there's so many situations that you kind of have to consider.
Continue.
I'm sorry, keep moving things and it's so distracting. You just gotta have a contingency plan.
Yeah.
Which is why I got my laptop.
So what has happened to us, and two things that really stick out happened in September.
Yes.
So number one, you woke up with pink eye.
Yeah, the first night there, or on the way down, my eye was just kind of bothering me a little bit. It just felt like I had my bad contact in or something.
Right.
And then, the next morning when I woke up, it was the beginnings of pink eye. It's there. It's not gotten real bad or anything, but you also need to nip it in the bud.
Right. So what we were able to do,
because we have the best optometrist ever.
We do. Dr. Svensson in Anniston, Alabama. He is fantastic. I have been going to him
since you were little.
He has actually done every eye checkup that I've had except for one.
Yeah, that one in Florence.
It was Miss Bonnie did it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So that's the only time that I have not been to him.
Which is it a family thing for us? Because Miss Bonnie has family.
Right.
And I feel like
Dr. Svensson is, yeah.
Svensson is. I can't talk right now. They redid my braces again,
mm-hmm.
and I feel like I'm slurring like crazy. And I just took my bands out. So.
Yeah. So what we were able to do is we was able to get in touch with Dr. Svensson, of course, being the amazing optometrist that he has been for us, answered his phone on the weekend.
Personal phone.
Yeah, his personal cell phone on the weekend, and was able to get a prescription sent to was it CVS down there in Orlando?
Is CVS or Walgreens?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they're the same thing.
That is an option. If you do have a good relationship with your
either
doctor,
your pediatrician,
whatever,
your personal doctor,
right, and you can tell them what's wrong, then that is an option. I would highly suggest that.
Build relationships with people.
Yeah, because that saves you a copay down in Orlando. It saves you from having to sit like in an emergency care or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. Where you could actually get sick when you have something minor happening, like pink eye. Mm-hmm. I mean, pink eye's annoying. It's not a major thing, but it can be addressed really simple.
Right. What are they called? Health stations?
Yeah. Elizabeth says that she had the Disney rash on her shins one time. So I'm curious, how did you...
I keep hearing people talk about that.
I've heard about this. We've never experienced it. So if you could clarify a little bit, I've always heard about the Disney rash, but I don't know what it is.
And to answer Dwayne, he said he'd never been sick at Disney. I'm not saying every single time you're going to go or every other time you're going to go and get sick, but eventually, I mean, it's just kind of one of those things that it's going to happen one way or the other at some point. And when I say sick, I mean, it could be just that, like, it was a really hot day. You've done a lot of walking. You haven't drank enough water.
Right.
You've gotten a little sun sick.
Right. Which also happened to us in September with Mom. So
it was bad.
Yeah, we was able. What we did, of course, we drive, right? So we were able to run to Walmart, and we got a bunch of Pedialyte.
Like, for real, whether you have kids or not, I would if it's not like you're a pass holder and you're there every day,
right,
Alicia. But
not calling anybody out.
Not calling anybody out, but Alicia. But like, if you have little kids, or if you know you're going to be there for a long time, or if it's really hot, just go ahead and get, like, you can even get the Pedialyte packets. Like, you don't even have to carry around a big bottle of Pedialyte. Just get either the little ones, like the individual little Pedialytes, or the Pedialyte packets that you put in water, and keep those on hand, because that's going to rehydrate you so much faster than water or Gatorade or anything else.
Yeah.
And has a lot less of the negative.
Honestly, it's pretty tasty too.
Yeah. I don't know. Your mom was sure chugging it.
Yeah. I mean, we all were. We all ended up.
Yeah. I can't do it personally.
So Derek says, from Satisfactual Sign Co, go follow him on Instagram. Disney does some amazing things when you're sick too. I don't know what their capacity right now is because of COVID, but I've had to use their little triage before, and it was great.
Also, a lot of times, like, I don't know what's COVID right now, but a lot of times in the little shops and stuff, they'll have a first aid kit. Like, if you have a little boo-boo and need a Band-Aid or something.
Right.
That's like a quick fix.
Elizabeth says she takes Propel packets.
Yeah, Propel is good. But like, if you're sick, like you've gotten that hot,
right,
Propel is not going to replace, as to the degree that Pedialyte is.
Yeah.
Which the knockoff Pedialyte is just as good, honestly.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It really is.
Also, I like the Publix in Orlando a lot better than the Walmart.
Really?
Orlando. Yeah. Like, it's not as commercialized, I feel.
Yeah.
And like, when you go in that big Walmart, it's always like millions of people and like tripping over each other. And,
right.
Like, everything's everywhere, and it takes you 10 to 15 minutes just to go 3 aisles because they're so long. But the Publix there has pretty much everything you can think of, and maybe not as much options, but they do have really good selections.
Yeah. All right. You want to move to the next one?
Sure.
Weather. Everybody's experienced weather.
Oh, wait. Going back to the sickness one. If you're going with kids, I think it's the Welly brand. They have this little tin, which has like things for motion sickness, for allergies, and stuff like that for little kids.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't like take the tin in, but you can take like their packet, like the little whatever. Anyways, it's a good thing just to have on hand just in case.
Yeah. Elizabeth agrees that Publix is the best.
I love Publix. I don't go there as much as I used to, like when we lived in Florence and the kids were little.
Yeah. All right. What about the weather, honey? How do you address weather? Because
just leave. Okay, never mind.
you have extreme heat, you have sunburn, you have torrential downpours, you have high wind, and all of that happens within an hour of each other.
Yeah, like it's some extreme.
Yeah. So what do you do?
Okay, well, for one, even if your kids are like a little older, like 10 or 8 or so, I would still get a stroller from Satisfactual Signs. Holy crap. Kingdom strollers. Okay, get one from them and they'll come with a canopy. Yes. And if you're there in the summer and you're going into a ride that is going to take a little while, just go ahead and cover the stroller up. Like, we almost ended up in a situation on our last trip because it had rained a little bit, but we were just going in. Was it Buzz?
Yes.
And I was like, I feel like we need to cover the stroller. And Jay's like, no, we're not going to be in there that long. And I'm like, no, I feel like it. And when we came out, it was like the bottom had fell out. So just go ahead. Always cover your stroller. A lot of people bring ponchos and stuff.
We're not about that poncho life.
I cannot do ponchos. And honestly, I feel like you get wet one way or the other. So you're either more uncomfortable and wet,
so
here's just uncomfortable.
Here's my thing. I sweat a lot.
Yeah, they're really cumbersome too.
Ponchos just, I mean, they're, they just make you sweat. So I've got 2 options.
And you're such a big guy, it's hard to find one that's big enough for you.
I've got 2 options, and this is how I look at it at work too, right? I can either be wet from rain
and wet from sweat,
or I can be wet from sweat and stank.
Yeah.
So which one? I mean, what does everybody else rather me do, right?
Yeah, I know that when we were planning our first trip, Jamison was really pretty young. Was that really 4 years ago?
Yeah,
3,
4.
Anyways, we packed all this stuff, and some of it was like some really nice ponchos. And I swear, like, they've been in the back of my car.
Yeah, they're still there.
Like, I have like a Hattie storage place in my car, and literally the only time we've used them since taking them out of our bag, like the second day in the park because it was just too heavy, was to cover a window of a car when it the glass fell. Which that is a really good tip, by the way. If your window like goes down and you can't get it back up, don't use trash bags, use a poncho. Anyway, so the other option is getting those really thin ones that are super cheap. And they're not going to
you're going to rip it, putting it on.
They're not going to stand up to you getting in and out of rides and stuff like that. The only time we used those was when, like, with the kids, but they didn't even like them either. If you're really concerned about the rain, you can get you a really thin rain jacket. And even Disney sells them, which they're really cute, but I'm going to get me one next time. I'm not saying, but honestly, like, when you're there's so many places that you can get under and stay somewhat dry. And just like, my biggest recommendation is to bring a pair of flip-flops. And when the rain starts coming, go ahead and take your shoes off so they don't get wet. Because that was a problem for me on our last trip. My shoes like got drenched the second day. And like, they wouldn't completely dry by the next morning, and I would literally put my feet in them with my socks, and it wouldn't be too bad until I stood up, and then it was squish, and that was not. I can't do that. And then after a few days of walking in wet shoes, like, I had blisters like nobody's business. But it got me like my most favorite pair of shoes ever.
It did.
Should I go get them to show them?
No, you disappeared enough today. All right. Dwayne says,
He's gonna tie me to
he
the
says, I
table.
either wear a poncho and keep going, or I go inside a show or a restaurant and wait it out.
Yeah. Carousel progress.
And he says it right there, because the parks are thinned out. It never fails. Everybody leaves. It's like, oh my gosh, it's raining. We must leave.
And then like 2 minutes later, it stopped. Like by the time they get to the gate, it's probably stopped.
Right. Derek, that line stank from sweat. Elizabeth is a sunbrella girl. So she has a little light one that is good for rain.
Christina Hall, it's like that too. Yeah. When they go to the park, she's really concerned about like skin cancer and stuff, which is something to be concerned about.
Yeah, and especially when you go as much as they do.
Like they go all the time.
Yeah.
So she just takes an umbrella with her every day, and umbrellas are great. We ended up making the mistake of, like, I didn't think about it, because if we had been driving my car, I have a couple of umbrellas that just stay in my car. Mm-hmm. Even though I like never use them, they're just there just in case.
But it did work out that we got some pretty awesome umbrellas.
I was able to get some really cool umbrellas. They're usually like about $20 or so. And like, I'm sorry, I'm bouncing. My medicine's not working today.
It's not.
You can find them in like gift shops and the resorts. And there's some, like, where was Beaches and Cream?
Yeah, so we got ours at Beach Club.
Yeah, and you can get the DVC ones in the resorts.
So nice.
But you can't get, like, if you're not a DVC member, you can't get them like otherwise. But if you're in the resorts, you can.
Right. Dwayne says also that he wears the dry fit shirts with the dry fit shorts. That's exactly what I do usually. I'll at least have a dry fit undershirt on. And I found those golf shorts that we found at Kohl's.
Yes, I got him some golf shorts.
What are they? Izod or whatever, right?
I think so.
They are amazing. Okay. They dry just like that.
So, like, hot tip for you ladies out there, because this is what I did. I'm not a like booty short or really short shorts girl, so it really didn't bother me. I went to Target before we left for our trip, and I went to the men's section, and I got almost identical shorts to his, and they were only like $25 or so, but they're super 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 thin, and they're lightweight, so they dry extremely fast.
And dads, for all the dads out there, we have a rep for rocking the cargo shorts. They don't look like cargo shorts, but they do have that side pocket that has a zipper. It's like hidden. Fantastic pocket.
Oh yeah, that pocket was. I mean, they were on mine too.
Yeah, I love it.
Like, it had some handy pockets. They were comfortable,
and they dry.
And they dried. And when you've been in the park for a while and you start sweat, like your whole body is sweating at this point, you get kind of like clammy almost. Yeah. They don't do that to you.
Yeah.
And
Derek says, got to poncho up and keep going. That's the best time to hit the parks. And that's it. Mackenzie's dancing in the rain and jumping in the puddles.
That's what we did last time. After a while, it rained on and off all day, so we just started playing in it.
Yeah, I actually
the kids loved it.
Posted it on TikTok and Instagram Reels. The boys running through Magic Kingdom when just after it got done raining, nobody's around, and they're just like they're playing tag
in front of the castle.
And we have another one where they're playing in front of the castle, jumping in the puddles and all, and nobody's around.
Yeah, it was something that we never would have experienced if we had left.
Yes, I'm so glad there's another spare flip-flop girl. Listen, this is what we like to do is we will get those cheap, where they like $1,
they're like 98 cents,
98 cent flip-flops at Walmart, and we'll put those in our backpacks for stuff like Splash Mountain, Kali River Rapids, anything like that. Or just a pool day. Yeah, just a pool day. Yeah.
And if you lose them, whatever.
It's not a big deal. You're out 98 cents. You don't wear them the whole time, right?
Yeah, I do not recommend that.
Yeah. We're tennis shoe people in the park. Comfortable tennis shoes. But
don't buy brand new tennis shoes right before you go, though. At least give it a month or so to get them kind of broken.
Yeah. Elizabeth does want to see the shoes, honey. So disappear. Poof. And she is gone. Derek said that he got a DCL rain jacket a couple of years ago for $25 at Character Warehouse, and it's the best in the rain. That's awesome. It makes sense that DCL would have good rain gear. You got to have that pocket for the dad gear. That's 100% right. And Dwayne somewhere has a video of Mackenzie jumping in the rain. We've got to see that. We have to see that. Elizabeth, thank you. She says the boys are so darn adorable. And yeah, Elizabeth just said the boys are so darn adorable.
Yeah, I know.
Phoenix just busted in.
Baby, I need to close the door. All right.
All right. So here's the shoes. For those of you who are watching, for those of you who are not, I apologize. Go over to www.youtube.com/Mouse Ears and Magic Podcast, and you can check them out there. About the 30-minute mark is where you'll find those. Found those at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, but I also saw them at the Disney store.
And she also has this fancy little beach bag type thing.
Yeah, that was my other tip. I am not a Vera Bradley Disney rep. I wished. You listening out there? But I have several things from the Disney collection at Vera Bradley. And I found this one recently. And I don't know if you'll be able to see
hold on. I got you right there, boo.
Okay. So this is like the spring collection. And it's called the Family Tote. And it's a very, very, very sturdy canvas thing, and it's huge. Like, it doesn't look like it would be that big, but it is. But then this is connected to the inside.
Yeah, it has like a mesh thing
that
you can tighten up, and so it gives you that little extra space.
Yeah, and it's got some hidden pockets that like people wouldn't notice. It's got zip pockets and stuff like that. But that is great for the even in the park. So it's also great like if you want to do laundry while you're there, or if you want to take your pool stuff to the pool without like dragging towels and everything else. Like, you can literally zip it or cinch it up at the top. I think it's fantastic. And I use it like anytime, like for an overnight bag when I go somewhere and stuff. But it's cute.
Sebastian says they once had to leave the park, and I've heard this story, to go buy his mom flip-flops at the Grand Floridian. Because there's a certain kind of flip-flop that she was wanting. Like, she saw it on the app. Grand Flo was the only place they could find it. So they had to leave park, go over to the Grand Flo to find those flip-flops for her.
Oh, that's awesome.
Elizabeth's daughter-in-law got a blister. And she saved the day with her spare flip-flops.
Yeah, and like a lot of people think, oh, it's just a blister, you'll be fine. No, you do not want blisters on your feet. Like, period.
You're being a bad influence, honey. Elizabeth says, oh no, I need a shot.
I gotta say, last year's Disney collection,
you killed Vera Bradley last year.
Oh yeah,
I
have. Should I get the backpack?
No.
Okay, last year's collection was cuter. I like the grayish looking one, and I've got it in a side purse, a backpack, and like a little bag.
Nathan, Rita just joined the chat. What's up, pal?
A cool name.
Yeah. All right. So here's one. I know that a lot of people watching us live have already experienced this. Their kids are older, and they may not have to worry about it.
Well, even when they're older, I mean, if you're standing in a line, or if you get on Kali River Rapids and your entire bottom is
right. Well, when I say older, I'm talking like
grown
teens, you know, and up.
Bring your own stuff.
Except for Derek. Hold on. Elizabeth says I just bought the cooler backpacks from Vera for the girls.
That's one of the things that is on my next, checklist to buy, is the cooler backpack, because I think it would be fantastic in the park. I'm just wondering if it's the right size for the park, though.
Yeah.
It'd be a great lunchbox, though.
Yep. So what if my kid has an accident while we're in the parks?
All right.
It's bound to happen.
Okay. When you say accident, do you mean
potty accident?
Okay.
What if you got a little one and you run out of diapers?
Okay, there's several locations around the park, but if you're unsure, just go to the courthouse. Like if you're in Magic Kingdom, City Hall in Magic Kingdom, and they can help you out. But they sell, they have little stores for families that they sell anything that you could need for a baby. If they're a little older, even still, or if your baby is just kind of hot and needs a moment.
Hot tip coming in right now. If let's say Phoenix is 4 years old, if we're in a long line, he could have an accident. It could happen,
especially when they're potty training. And
right.
I feel like we have potty trained all of our kids at Disney.
Disney has been a huge part of potty training the kids. Yes. But if they do, he has an accident and, he's wearing underwear. He's not in diapers. He's 4, right? He's not in pull up.
I want to say that
gift shops do have underwear. You have to ask for them. They keep them behind the counter or in the back. They don't have them on display because who wants to look at underwear?
Yeah, well, why would you go to Disney gift shop just to buy?
Yeah, and Elizabeth says here that childcare has diapers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and bring a change. Yes, that was my next point. Was always have extra everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't go in the park with everything in the kitchen sink,
right?
But when we
For those of you watching live, have you noticed that every time I change the camera angle up, she
yeah, it's so distracting. And you do it again. Boy, I'm gonna get you. Anyways, so when we go to the park, we don't necessarily bring extra clothes for us. I think in a lot of cases, it's probably wise to at least bring an extra pair of socks because if your feet get really, really sweaty or whatever. But we always bring some lightweight shorts, a lightweight shirt, and some underwear, at least 2 or 3 pair, honestly. But anything that's don't bring real thick, heavy clothing, just something that's going to take up very little space and be really lightweight.
Right.
And then you can put them in gallon bags or quart bags and roll the air out as you close them, and they don't take up a hole.
So here's the
trick. Your hair looks crazy.
Does it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Here's the trick. So, with shorts, you fold them once in half, right? Start at the waistband and roll it down tight.
Yeah, I mean, you can make them pretty small.
Yeah, you can make them small. And then when you put them in the bag, in the Ziploc bag, and you roll that down tight, it's not taking up any room. They're not going to grow. They're not going to come unrolled or anything like that.
I know our first trip, I went bonanzas on Amazon. I got all these space saver bags and stuff. And that's just, I mean, if you want to spend that money, go for it. But it's really, really not necessary. And I think we end up throwing them away. We had $40 worth of.
Right. And Elizabeth says we would get a stroller to carry the emergency provisions.
Yes.
And again, Kingdom strollers. And you can get with Lori or Lissy, www.enchantingescapesbylori.com or www.travelingwithlissy.com. Always make sure I
pronounce it right.
Yeah. Lissy. That's Lissy. And they can help you out making that reservation through Kingdom Strollers. We've rented from Kingdom Strollers several times now. They're amazing.
They're fantastic.
Yeah. It's a small business, locally owned, family owned. They do a fantastic job. Every time you get a stroller, it looks brand new.
Yeah, I mean, they're clean. They are not something that is gonna feel ew, 4 million people have used this or something.
Right.
They clean them good.
Yeah. I actually, a while back, you'll have to go back on Instagram, but you'll find a picture that they sent. They sent to us where they showed their washing area. How they do everything.
Oh yeah, it was intense.
It's amazing.
Very commercial.
So yeah, definitely.
The only problem we've ever had is the little cooler. They come with a little cooler.
Yes.
And a a cover and what else?
The little cup holder thing.
The cup holder thing. It's got all the little cups and little compartments, which is very handy. Our little cooler, the zipper wasn't working right on it.
Yeah.
Which if we had said something, they would have brought us a new one. Yeah. Yeah, they would have just brought it to us and fixed it. Yeah. But we just,
we had an issue. We did have a wheel that kept falling off one time.
Didn't they replace it?
And I called and let them know. They brought us a new stroller out. Was it 30 minutes?
Yeah.
I mean, it was fantastic. So you're not going to have any
if I'm not
issues
mistaken, and I'm pretty sure I'm not, they will bring it to the park for you if you
Yes. Yeah, they'll be able to meet you at the gate. And Derek says since we're local, we don't ever bring extras except for the kids. Daughter decided to pee on me and run away last week. So
That's
listen,
great.
learn.
Oh my gosh. That's happened to me so many times. Oh my gosh.
Me.
And boys are gross.
No, we're not.
Yes.
All right, honey.
What about the night that Phoenix ate at Liberty Tree for the first time and he destroyed the mac and cheese and it was
everywhere.
Like he turned into a big macaroni noodle. It was intense.
Do you have something else over there you want to cover? Tell me if you do.
Are you out of stuff?
No, I mean we got this, but we can do something else. Go ahead.
I'm still working on some stuff.
Well, we don't have to. We have 20 minutes, honey.
Oh wow, we've already been 40 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, my first advice, if you're going to be driving to the park.
Yes.
And like you're not taking a Skyliner, you're not
have a handicap placard.
No, what I was going to say is if you're concerned you haven't been before or it's your first time going with kids or you just want to be prepared, I always recommend packing an extra bag of stuff.
Yeah.
And keeping it in your car.
Yes.
Worst comes to worst, you can, I'm hoping soon, be able to again leave the park and come back in.
You can now.
Okay.
Brad from 8-Bit Vacations just joined the chat, by the way. What's up, bud?
Whoop.
Fantastic YouTube channel. I love his channel. He does a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
You know, he has some Disney stuff on there. He does, I mean, just they love to travel. So a lot of really cool things. I think you went to Hilton Head not too long ago. That was a really fun video. Not right now. It's gotta wait. It's gotta wait. You're fine. The Xbox can wait.
No, I'm trying to.
Okay, the Xbox can wait. He's mad. So Xbox is gone for the day.
If he just threw that controller, I'm about to.
That's real life stuff right there, guys.
Little boy in trouble.
All right, so you have elderly written down here. So what about elderly? Where are we going here?
Well, I mean, like if you're going with someone who's older
Mm-hmm.
or in need, like some kind of physical disability.
I feel like that's. We said, what if everything falls apart at Disney? And you're like, elderly.
Oh, I didn't even hear that part because I was writing that down.
It's the title.
If everything does fall apart, you know, I mean, it's just something you need to consider if you're going with older people.
Right.
You need to consider places that are shady, making sure they're staying hydrated. I would suggest renting an electric scooter.
Yes. Kingdom Strollers also just started EVCs.
Mm-hmm.
We love Kingdom Strollers.
We do. We love them.
We are not sponsored.
We are not, no. I wish, but no. Be careful. The elderly on those scooters, Cheryl, which I don't know if you could consider her elderly, but
right.
That's something to consider again. And if y'all have any questions about that, we can certainly find some stuff. Yeah.
See Dwayne here. What does he say? He says Sarah was just one notch from turning it up to 11. with Jameson just saying.
Oh yeah.
If he threw that.
It's been an ongoing battle.
Derek said from Satisfactual Sign Co says, I know tons of shady places in Disney, one being Dinoland.
You know, they could. That would be a really awesome, just an area over there in a corner somewhere that they could turn into like a big pavilion for people.
Mm-hmm.
It just has swings and seats and even hammocks. I don't know. Go take a nap.
Brad says we've definitely stayed in some shady places before. Oh wait, shady places, honey. Like everybody's just running with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
They're running with it. Real life happens.
It's better than adult game night.
Speaking of adult game night, for the first time in our chat, we see Disney Cult here, who did win adult game night the other night. So that's pretty impressive. Thanks for joining us, Disney Cult. Everybody wants to know who you are. So if you want to unmask yourself in our stream, we'll make sure the word gets out to everybody. Derek says, turn it into a bit parking lot for old people on scooters.
A big lot.
Okay, thank you.
That could work. Those things take up a lot of space.
The scooters? Yeah, they do.
That I gotta say, that was the most annoying thing to deal with. I would almost rather just rent a scooter there.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know about that.
I don't know, but
I don't know. Disney Cult was a beast, says Dwayne. And Disney Cult says, OMG, y'all are too funny.
yeah. How about if you're going to the park and the line is super long and you have to go to the bathroom?
What do you do?
I would suggest
What do you do?
marking out where all the bathrooms are. Oh, hot tip for me. And this is how I've always parented, and it's how I live my life a lot of the time anyways. If you're passing a bathroom, I don't care if you have to go or you don't have to go. Go. Because you never know, like it might hit you 10 minutes later and there's no way to go. So like every single time we were close to a bathroom, I would make both of the children go to the bathroom. And they're like, I don't want to. I don't have to. I'm like, I didn't ask if you had to. I said go. And it never fails. They can go.
Yep. All right. Maybe they should open up Dinosaur and let old people drive their scooters through there. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness.
I just had a flash
used to
of
drive
like
our golf cars through there at night. Like it was a slick track and it was amazing. We're going to have to get Derek on to hear these stories.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking of like Jurassic Park and all the dinosaurs running, and they're being chased by old people on scooters. They're hurting them.
And for those of you watching on YouTube, I just put Brad's YouTube link in the comments so you can go over and subscribe to him. I just noticed he's not far from 1,000.
Ooh.
Yeah. Almost at monetization.
Hey, what do you do in the park when your kid's having a massive meltdown?
That's one I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Good call. What do you do, honey?
I think it depends on the kid. My biggest suggestion:
warm them hands up. Just warm them up. It's okay. Nobody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to judge you. And if they do, warm it up for them too.
I mean, I will say, like, our Magic Kingdom day on our last trip, there was a few trips to the bathroom to have some discussions. But first you got to knock off the, like take down the list. Like, are they hot? Because I get really cranky when I'm hot. And then you got to figure out when's the last time they ate and, stuff like that. But if they're just being a butt, then that's something to address. And it could be something as simple as sitting down for a little bit and talking about it.
Yep.
I will say that forcing the issue is not going to help.
Derek, take him to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, we had a few discussions in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But
well, you saw today's thumbnail. I don't know what that discussion was, but it did look kind of like Jameson was getting a little talking to.
I can't remember what the full picture looks like again, but I want to say
so it took place over in Galaxy's Edge.
Okay. Yeah, that was probably the one where Jameson literally wanted everything. Like every time, like they market their stuff so good. Like every time you get off a ride, there's a shop, there's a gift shop, there's a gift shop. They're everywhere. And I don't necessarily mind that. Like I know that I don't have to buy everything, but I enjoy looking.
Right.
But that, that is a problem. Oh yeah, that's what that was about. That was a problem we were having. Jameson wanting everything. And I would highly suggest not doing that. No.
What, discussion with a warm hand?
No, I'm talking about giving them everything. Like do not let them get something at every single ride. Because number one, you're not going to be able to carry all that home. Number two, you're going to be broke.
Right.
And number three, if they spend all of their money in the first day or two, then they're going to really regret it.
Yeah, because Derek says discussion with a warm hand, ?
Yeah, no, we can discuss things from...
It has to happen sometimes.
See, usually I do the hard talking, and then I have him as my bouncer. He does he's my enforcer.
And Brad says, do parent swap and try to dip out during the ride. come back an hour later and say the line was
That's not a bad idea.
Oh, that's
I mean,
so funny.
The good thing, like with parent, being parents in the park and stuff, like with Jameson not liking It's a Small World, you could take Phoenix on there because he really enjoyed that ride.
Yep.
And we could not. But back to that picture was Jameson had an attitude and was like, well, if you don't get it for me, Grandma will. And I'm like, oh, really? Is that how we plan this?
Yeah.
So we had to have some heart to heart.
Yeah. And it does have to happen. One thing that we discovered that helps is like, hey, listen, we've got this is our first ride of the day. This is the first shop we've been in. Derek says, okay, the signs won't paint themselves. Catch the rest later. I appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for hanging out with us. I know you got a lot of work to do. Shop sells out in seconds. So, yeah, we would say, listen, it's early in the day. Like, you don't want to spend
Cheryl,
everything
I didn't
here.
say that it was true. I'm saying that's what Jonathan was saying. Okay. Just clarifying there.
But you can, you just say, hey, listen, remember it. Let's look at the other stuff throughout the day. If you still want it, we can come back. 99% of the time, they're going to forget about it.
Yeah. Like Phoenix wanted this little like clacker thing so bad at the dinosaur gift shop while we were waiting on y'all to get off, and we got it for him. He lost it like not even an hour later and never even thought about it again.
Nope, never
even mentioned it.
Never.
And it was like $20. I was mad.
Yeah, I know, right? He didn't actually lose it.
Did you lose it for him?
I mean, it didn't get lost. It's still around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That made me think of something though, and I kind of gotta remember what it was.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah.
I'm glad we had this
Well,
talk.
when I can't say something right when I think of it, sometimes it's just gone.
Yeah. Most of the time.
Oh, yes. That's the point. There are things that are sold in the parks that you cannot get anywhere else. So if you're only going to be in like whatever park for one day, I would do a little checking, because if it's a park specific item, you will not find it anywhere.
Yeah, Mackenzie says here, unless it's a rare item, then you buy it when you see it, and that's 100% correct. You'll run across pins that are rare, magic bands that are rare, stuff like that are super rare. They're limited, and you want to go ahead and dirt those up as quick as you can.
I know that our first trip, I bought, like, I love stationery and pins and stuff. Our first trip, I bought this really pretty pen, like not a pen for your shirt, but like a writing pen.
Yeah.
And I loved it, and I kept it with me all the time. And I was telling him I want to get a spare in case, something happens to this one. And it was too late, we were home and everything. And I searched and searched and searched and searched and could not find it. Come to find out, it was a limited park thing.
Yep.
And it was only at Animal Kingdom.
Yep. All right. Do you have anything else?
I'm sure I do, but
can't come up with it right now. Because we're coming up on that hour mark.
Yeah.
So I say we go ahead and start heading out. Good with that?
Works for me.
All right. So for everybody that watched this live, thank you so much for tuning in. Those of you listening
I'm sorry,
on the podcast,
I feel like we have so much more like good tips, but like I was not.
At least you're honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and again, this was a quick change up.
Yeah. I mean, like an hour or two before the show.
Yeah, it was a quick change up. So things happen. Elizabeth says great talk. I've heard great talk before. It wasn't in it was more of a sarcastic, like good talk, James.
Or it's like full story, bro.
Yeah. We love Elizabeth though. She's always watched and at least caught the replay when she couldn't watch live. So couple things coming up. So next month we have Disney Bunch, first Sunday of the month. Looking at trying to get Patreon members on. I think that'll be fun.
The first Sunday of the month?
Yes.
I thought that was the women's thing. Or is that the second?
No,
they're both.
They're both on the first Sunday of the month, honey. Oh boy. All right.
I'm not here today.
Do you have anything scheduled for Women of Disney for next month?
I haven't. We've all established, it's been a really rough week. I'm going to sleep.
Clock's a ticking, honey.
Yeah, well, next week is yours. What you got planned?
So what do I have planned? We're changing things up a little bit. We're going away from self-respecting men who love Disney for just this month. And we are going to do Dudes Doing Disney.
Okay.
All right. So we've got a panel. Hey, Dwayne, I haven't talked to you about this yet, I don't think. But next Sunday, you're going to be on our podcast. Mark Valentine, Brian Ferguson. We're going to have a panel of 4. And kind of like, me and Brian did early on. Was it episode 15, 16, something like that? Way long time ago.
Don't go back and listen.
Don't. We did.
We're not great now, but we were real bad then.
Right. We did a show, things that guys can do at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to kind of elaborate.
Things about it.
Manly things at Disney. Yeah. We're going to kind of elaborate on that, kind of expand, get different perspectives.
Like it's not all tutus and tiaras, I promise.
Right. We might talk about a little bass fishing,
Yes.
A little basketball shooting.
Mm-hmm.
The
Grand Floridian has a lot of great things for guys.
Elizabeth specifies and says it was sincere here. Sure. Hey, it's great seeing you, Brad, too. Thank you, buddy. And Dwayne is in. Good.
I just love that name, 8-Bit.
8-Bit Vacations. That's 8-BIT Vacations. Go check them out on YouTube.
It's a cool name, man.
It really is. And so yeah, that's what we've got next week. We've got Disney Bunch coming up. What else do we have? September 5th. It's going to be a big day. We got to start talking about that now, right? We're going to be on the Pete McDavid show.
Oh, yeah. Is it that soon?
In the hot seat. September 5th, babe.
Yeah, okay.
September
Sorry.
5th.
I was thinking.
We got a few more months. Yeah. A few more months. We're going to be on the Pete McDavid show on his Sunday night show. So September, the Disney Bunch will be moved back a week. It's going to be fun. The hot seat's something else. Go check it out. He will be having one tonight if you're watching live. If you're not, go look at the Pete McDavid show on YouTube and you'll definitely see his streams.
See, I need to start just pulling that stuff up because I usually just listen while you're listening.
Right.
So it's I'm not even there because I'm not commenting. I hear stuff.
We got to prepare.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. So
I'm nervous.
Anyways.
All the stuff that I say now and I'm not being asked weird questions. I'm afraid I'm on real.
If you've ever watched Adult Game Night, the Disney Bunch, some things that come out of those shows is all piled into one show when you're in the hot seat. All right, honey, you got anything else? All right, go follow us on Facebook and Instagram. All of our links are down in the description. You can also check out our sponsors are in the description, as well as all of our favorite shops.
Walrus, Carp,
Sign Co, Satisfactual Sign Co, Custom Boutique by Lisa, our newest Patreon member, joined the day after KDB, and KP Ear Gear.
Yeah, some awesome ears.
They're so amazing.
I just had to do a creative movement assignment for one of my classes, and I almost wore ears in it. But I thought that might be excessive. I did wear my Walrus Carp sunglasses though.
I feel like I'm going to post that on the Patreon Facebook group, just so they can. I think that'd be that's something good, right?
Okay, I was going for a little kid silly, and I went straight into ridiculous.
Piano Rob approved. It is definitely a little kid silly.
Yeah, I was going for silly, but
I gotta send it to Wayne.
Oh.
All right.
You promised me you wouldn't do this, and here he is.
I'm sorry. Anyways, for Sarah, I'm James. We'll be talking to you real soon.